Welcome to the React Data Grid component tutorial. The Data Grid is a fast, feature-rich table component designed to handle large datasets with ease. In this video, I'll show you how to integrate the Data Grid component into your React app. You'll learn how to customize the columns of the React Data Grid. Finally, I will show you how to enable paging, sorting, filtering, and grouping features. Before moving forward, make sure you have installed the latest version of Node.js and React. I'll edit my code using Visual Studio Code and show the output in the Chrome browser. Let's start the application creation process. I open Visual Studio Code and create a React application using the command npm create_vite@latest, naming my project My App and including the React template. Now the React project with all the dependencies is created. Next, let me navigate to the project folder. To use the React Data Grid, I need to install the Data Grid component package using the command npm install at Syncfusion /ej2 React Grids --save. The application is now ready to use. First, I must register the trial license key to use Syncfusion components. So I open the main.jsx file and import the register license method from the Syncfusion ej2 base package. Using this method, I register the trial license key. To learn how to generate this license key, refer to the link in the description below. The application is now configured to use Syncfusion components. Next, to integrate the data grid, I navigate to the app.jsx file and remove the default code. I import the grid component from the Syncfusion ej2 React Grids. Inside the return statement, I define the React Grid component. Then to add a data source, create a new file under src folder and name it as datasource.js. In this file, add JSON array with simple object. Here, the JSON object keys will render as a grid header and values will render as a grid rows. Now I import this array into app.jsx file and assign this array to the data grid component using the data source property. Then I add padding to align the component properly. To apply styles, I navigate to the app.css file, remove the default styles, and add the required CSS references by importing the Tailwind theme. You can also use other themes like Bootstrap, Fluent, and more. Now I save the changes and run the application using the npm rundev command. You can see the data grid now rendered as per the provided data. Next, I will show you how to customize the columns of the React Data Grid. To customize the columns and display only the selective columns on the grid, first I need to import the column directive and columns directive from the Syncfusion ej2 React Grids package and define them in the Data Grid component. Here, each column directive will represent the individual column of the data grid, and the field property represent which data source field bind with each of the grid columns. The header text property will change the display text of the column, and the text align property will align the content of the column. The format property will allow us to set the currency format or date format to the column. The width property will set the desired width of the corresponding column. Let me show you the output of this code. The data grid is now displayed with customized and formatted columns. Next, I will show you how to enable the paging feature in the React Data Grid. To do this, you must understand the feature modules first. To make the data grid component lightweight, its features are segregated into modules, so that you can inject only the required feature modules as needed. To use the paging feature, first import the page module from the ej2 React Grids package. Before injecting it into the data grid component, make sure to import the inject directive as well. Use the inject directive to inject the page module into the data grid component. Then enable the allow paging property. In the page settings, set the page size to 5 so that each page in the grid displays 5 rows. Now the React Data Grid is showing 5 rows per page. Next, I will show you how to enable the sorting feature. To do that, first, I import the sort module from the ej2 React Grids package and inject it into the inject directive. Then I enable the Allow Sorting property. See, when I click the column header, the column is sorted. To enable multi-sorting, I set the Allow Multi-Sorting property to true. With this enabled, you can sort multiple columns by holding the Control key and clicking on additional column headers. Now, I'll show you how to enable the filtering option. First, I import the filter module and inject it into the inject directive. Then, I enable the Allow Filtering property. As you can see, the default filter bar is now displayed in the data grid, and you can filter the values of any column directly from the header. Apart from this default filter bar, the data grid also supports additional filter types such as menu, checkbox, and Excel. To use these, I add the filter settings property and set the type to menu. Now the filtering interface changes to a menu style pop-up, allowing me to apply conditions like contains, starts with, or greater than. In the same way, you can change the filter type to checkbox for selecting values through checkboxes, or Excel for a spreadsheet like filtering experience. Simply update the filter settings type property to the desired value. Next, let me show you how to enable grouping. Import the group module and inject it into the component, and enable the Allow Grouping property. The DataGrid component is now enabled with the grouping bar. You can group the grid records simply by dragging the desired header bar. The component also supports multi-level grouping. Let's wrap up this video. I have shown you how to add the Syncfusion DataGrid component to a React application, configuring how to customize the column, enabling the features such as paging, sorting, filtering, and grouping. If you want to try out the example used in this video, download it from the GitHub link in the description below. I have also shared a link to learn how to obtain a free license key to use our React components through our community license if you are eligible. Thank you for watching this video.